In the previous lecture we were discussing about the thermodynamic basis of electrokinetics, and we will continue with that. So just for a brief recapitulation, we will consider that what are the concepts that we had discussed. So we had discussed about the concept of chemical potential of a pure component and chemical potential of a component in a mixture. So in that way we defined it through the partial molar Gibbs function expressed in terms of the fugacity for the pure component, fugacity of the pure component, and for the mixture fugacity of the component in the mixture. Now to calculate the change in volume due to mixing, we considered the following expression. The expression that I was deriving in the board was for a special case when in the mixture there are two constituents A and B. Now whatever is presented in this slide is for a little bit more general case where there could be several numbers of components, and we considered the ith component and write the chemical potential as mu I. So remember that we wrote that dG at T Nb for the number of moles of the component B, instead of Nb we are writing Nj for any j not equal to I. So it is like B not equal to A. So accordingly this expression we have written, and the Maxwell's cross relation, which is nothing but the rule of partial derivatives, that if dz is equal to mdx plus ndy, then del m del y is equal to del n del x, that is the Maxwell's cross relation. So that gives this expression. So eventually we get that d mu I is equal to V I bar dP, which is the partial molar volume into dP at constant temperature and all n's fixed, and by definition d mu I is equal to RT d ln f bar I, right, that is the definition. So with this point let us go ahead. So we will write these expressions in the board and proceed further with that. So d mu A or at constant temperature is equal to, or this mu A, the alternative notation is Ga bar is equal to R bar T d ln is equal to Va dP, all the terms at constant temperature. Okay. Similarly you can write fugacity of the pure Gibbs free energy, molar Gibbs free energy of the pure component A dGA. What is that? This is RT d ln Fa. What is this Fa? This is fugacity of the pure component A. See, fugacity is not a partial molar property, so that is why its way of writing, nomenclature of writing is different from the partial molar property. So this is equal to what? Right. So we calculated the change in volume due to mixing. That is, what is the change in volume due to mixing? Individual A is there and individual B is there, you sum total the volume and after that you mix A and B, you sum total the volume. The difference between these two is the change in volume due to mixing, and that is what Na okay. Now we will calculate individual terms. Capital VA bar minus small VA bar. So from the equations which are written at the top, we can write VA bar minus small VA bar dP at constant temperature. Remember, all the things are at constant temperature, so you can emphasize it by writing a subscript T, is equal to RT d ln F bar A by Fa, right. Log of this minus log of this. Now integrate it from a low pressure P star to the pressure P. Integrate it at constant temperature. Temperature is kept constant, so this comes out of the T comes out of the integral from P star to P. Star means ideal gas state. So P star means a very low pressure, okay. So then let us concentrate on the right hand side. So at P equal to P, Fa bar equal to Fa bar and Fa is equal to Fa. So ln Fa bar by Fa minus at P equal to P star, what is fugacity of the component A in the mixture? Ya into P star, mole fraction into the total pressure, ln Ya into P star divided by what is Fa? P star, that is a pure component. For pure component, fugacity at ideal gas state is same as pressure. So this is RT ln F bar A by Ya Fa. When will the change in volume due to mixing be 0? When this term is 0 and similarly capital VA bar minus capital VB bar minus small vb bar equal to 0. So for the change in volume due to mixing equal to 0, this should be 0, for delta V mix should equal to 0. That means for delta V mix equal to 0, you must have F bar A is equal to FAYA, right, and similarly F bar B is equal to FBYB. So you can relate the fugacity of the component in the mixture with the fugacity of the pure component purely through the mole fraction. It can be shown that for a ideal gas also the same thing is obeyed. That means ideal gas is a special case of an ideal solution. Ideal solution is a more general case. So what is the definition of an ideal solution? The definition of an ideal solution is when the change in volume due to mixing equal to 0. So delta V mix equal to 0, this is the definition of ideal solution. This is not ideal gas, this is ideal solution. Ideal gas shows the same behavior. It can be shown that if you have two components A and B which are ideal gases and you mix them to form a mixture of ideal gases, then the change in volume due to mixing is 0. That means ideal gas mixture is a special case of ideal solution. Ideal solution is a more general concept. Okay. Now we will find out what is the chemical potential of the mixture. So we will start with dG bar A is equal to RT d ln F bar A. We will start with this definition. Our objective is to find out an expression for the chemical potential in terms of the fugacity. So we will start with the corresponding differential form. Now we will integrate it from P star to P. But T is kept constant because these definitions are based on constant T, right. This is at constant T, I am not writing it all the time, but it is constant T. So you integrate from P star to P. So if you do that, you will get GA is equal to GA star plus RT ln F bar A divided by, yes, at P equal to P star, what is F bar A? YA P star. Okay. Now we will calculate. So what is our strategy? We have transferred the quantity GA bar from this state expressed in terms of an ideal gas state, and this ideal gas state now we will write in terms of molar quantities instead of partial molar quantities. So now what is G? G is equal to H minus Ts, that is the definition of G. No matter what, whether it is mixture or single component or whatever, G is H minus Ts. So we have two components A and B. So G star is equal to H star minus Ts star, star means ideal gas. Now what is H star? Na CPA T plus Nb CPB T. Okay. Now G star is equal to H star minus T S star, therefore G star A bar A is equal to H star bar A minus T S star bar A. Just differentiate all the terms with respect to Na by keeping T, P, Nb fixed. So we will get this. Okay. Now what is H A star? That is del H star del n A at T P N B. What is that? N A sorry, del H star del N A will be C P A into T. And this is same as molar enthalpy of A. Okay. Now entropy, A star minus S0 star, this S0 star may be a hypothetical reference state, is equal to NA CPA ln T by T0 you are familiar with this expression, you can use that. Basically where from this expression comes, you have TdS is equal to dH minus VdP, you can write molar quantities. So ds in for dH ideal gas, dH is Cp dt, so Cp dt by T, this Cp, these are molar Cp's, so Cp should be, there should be a bar at the top, Cp dt by T minus in place of V RT by P, so R dP by P. This is for a pure component we are writing, but you will understand this by the analogy. So if you integrate this, you can write this as Cp ln T2 by T1 minus R ln P2 by P1. Can you write it always? Yes, when you cannot write this as Cp ln T2 by T1 minus R ln P2 by P1, when you cannot write this, when Cp and when for example consider the first term, if Cp is a function of temperature, then you cannot write it. Ideal gas means Cp is a function of temperature and only temperature, nothing else. So ideal gas does not mean Cp is a constant, but this expression you can write only when Cp is a constant. So that is a special case of an ideal gas, that is called as calorically perfect gas. So this is there is a difference between perfect gas and ideal gas. Okay. So this is called as calorically perfect gas, for which Cp is a constant, so you can take this out, and here because of the mixture factor you are basically writing the partial pressure, that is how why the total pressure times the mole fraction. Okay. So this is A star minus S0 star. So what is A star A? So del S star del Na at T P N B. So this is Cpa ln T by T0 minus R ln Ya P star by P0. Similarly, for the pure component, what is small sa star? What is for the pure component SA star? Na Cpa ln T by T0 minus R ln P star by P0, no question of mole fraction, because partial pressure is not required. Always keep this in mind, when you have a mixture in an ideal gas state, always you refer to partial pressure, and for an ideal gas that is total pressure times the mole fraction. Okay. So now if you subtract these two, capital S star minus small s star is equal to, sorry, this Na will not be there because this is per unit number of moles of A. So Na is not there, this is molar property, per unit number of moles. So S star, capital S star minus small s star, Cp ln T by T0 term gets cancelled. This is also, when you write this, your reference state is the same. So S star minus S0 star actually, this is the reference state. For calculating entropies, basically you require a reference state with respect to which you calculate the entropy, because the second law based expressions talk about the change in entropy, not the absolute value of entropy. For absolute value of entropy you have to refer to the third law of thermodynamics. So the change in entropy, the reference states being the same, so this reference state you can choose in such a way that this is 0 at absolute 0, okay. So that reference state is gone. Otherwise you can consider some arbitrary reference state, but when you subtract these two, basically the reference state effects are gone. So you have S star minus S star, see Cp ln T by T0, that term is gone, minus R ln Ya will be only remaining, because then R ln P star by P0 that gets cancelled from the terms. So to sum it up, in this expression of Ga star, I am writing it with a different color so that it is understandable easily. So this is Ha star minus T, capital S star is equal to small s star minus R bar ln Ya, okay. So with this derivation, see ideal gas states may be hypothetical, always remember this is a very important concept. When we are talking about a state star, you can say, I mean these things should come to your mind automatically. We are talking about ions in a liquid. Now what about ideal gas? Will the ions become ideal gas? So the logic is that it refers to an hypothetical standard ideal gas state. It need not be that those ions which are there in the electrolyte for the electrokinetic phenomena, they are in the ideal gas state. So this conceptual paradigm needs to be understood very carefully. Thermodynamics is a very beautiful subject. The thing is that more you think about the concept, more and more actually doubts come into the mind, and we progress in thermodynamics as we resolve these doubts. So when you write Ga in place of Ga star, so what is this? H star minus T small s star is small Ga star plus RT ln Ya plus RT ln F bar A by Ya P star, okay. From this expression we have written this. So we can write GA is equal to GA star plus, now RT ln YA gets cancelled, okay. So you have RT ln F bar A by P star. Alternatively you can write, in place of G bar A you can write mu A, chemical potential of A, just a different way of writing the same thing. So I am writing alternative notations with the green color. This is mu A, this is mu A star. Now we refer to a state which is called as standard state. The standard state will be designated by the superscript 0, which is a reference state. Some reference state we call as standard state. So 0 superscript means standard state. So mu A0 is equal to mu A star. This is the standard state but of pure component A. Standard state not of mixture, standard state of pure component A. So plus RT ln FA by P star. Okay. This is for the pure component. So you can get this by integrating d mu is equal to RT d ln F from the state star to the state P, you will get this pure component. So if you subtract these two, then what you will get, mu A is equal to mu A0 plus RT ln F bar A by FA0, right. This ratio F bar A by FA0 is known as activity of the component A in the solution. This is called as activity. What is the value of activity if it is an ideal solution? Mole fraction, because F bar A is YAFA. You can choose the standard state as same as this state. So we have already shown that for an ideal solution F bar A is YAFA. So the activity becomes the mole fraction at standard state when you think of an ideal solution. So the summary of this finding is that for an ideal solution you can write mu A is equal to mu A0 plus RT ln YA for an ideal solution at standard state. Okay. So we will summarize this discussion through the slides and then we will proceed further. So we had calculated, we will refer to the slides, we will refer to the slides. We will refer to the slides. So chemical potential of the component we calculated, we will come to this. We have calculated the chemical potential or the partial molar Gibbs function of the component I. So whatever I have written A in the board, that is written as I in the slide for the ith component, but in the slide it is generalized for a large number of components. So we can see that eventually we got that mu I equal to mu I star plus RT ln Fi by P star, and for component I in pure substance standard state mu I0 is equal to mu I star plus RT ln Fi0 by P star. So if you subtract, then you get mu I is equal to mu I 0. So what is written in the board as mu A equal to mu A 0 plus RT ln AI, where AI is the activity. So you have for an ideal solution. So if we assume the ions to be ideal solution, so that is not a very impractical approximation. If you consider the ions to be ideal solution, then you have mu I is equal to mu I 0 plus RT ln YI. So you can rescale this. YI is the number of moles of I by the total number of moles. Total number of moles being fixed, you can suitably scale it by writing RT ln Ni also without any problem. So it is just a matter of choosing the scale. Now what we have considered there is 1 mole, right. So if you consider for each ion, 1 mole of ion at standard state will contain how many number of ions? Avogadro number of ions. So each ion, for each ion what you have to do? You have to divide the expression by the Avogadro number. So whatever was RT ln YI, that R divided by the Avogadro number will become the Boltzmann constant Kb. So the Boltzmann constant is the universal constant divided by the Avogadro number. So it is basically to transform from 1 mole to a single entity. So let us see the expression. So eventually you can write the chemical potential of the ion for each ion. Mu I is equal to mu I 0 plus kBT ln Ni, right. So we have derived the expression, so you know what are the assumptions under which this is valid. Okay. Now before proceeding further, I have already discussed that this is a system where you just do not have chemical species have charges, that is how they become ions, right. So when you describe the total potential of the system, you have chemical potential plus electrical potential, because the chemical entities have charges, and in totality that is called as electrochemical potential. So if you go to the expression mu I bar, we call it is just a way of writing electrochemical potential. It is the chemical potential plus electrical potential. How do you write the electrical potential? See, Zi is the valency of the ith species and E is the charge of a proton. So the total charge of the ith species is Zi into E, okay, and if psi be the potential within the electrical double layer, we are discussing about the thermodynamics of the electrical double layer. If psi be the potential of the electrical double layer within the electrical double layer, which is a function of y, psi is not a constant. Remember that there is a maximum value of psi at the wall, then psi decreases as you go from the wall. At the shear plane it becomes the zeta potential, and outside the electrical double layer it becomes 0. So you have a distribution of psi as a function of y. So when you have that, then basically the electrochemical potential, the electrical potential part, that is also a function of y. So what is the total potential? Mu I bar is equal to mu I 0 plus kBT ln Ni plus Zi E psi. So we will start with this expression and see what we get for equilibrium. So mu I bar is equal to mu I 0 plus kBT ln Ni plus Zi E psi, right. Now for the system to be in equilibrium, what is the electrochemical potential? The gradient of electrochemical potential must be 0. So for equilibrium you must have d mu I bar dy equal to 0. What is the y direction? If this is the plate solid boundary at which the electrical double layer forms, then this y direction is perpendicular to it. Or if you are forgetting about any direction, that means you do not care about that whether the direction is y, x, z or whatever you want to generalize, you can simply write d mu I bar equal to 0. So that means you can write kBt dni by ni plus zi e d psi is equal to 0. Right. Now if you integrate it, if you integrate this expression, what will you get? So you can integrate it with an understanding that far away from the solid boundary, located at hypothetical infinity. Infinity means what? This is just like boundary layer. Infinity means not literally at infinity. Infinity means at a distance from the plate where the surface charging effect of the plate is not felt. That means the potential has dropped to 0. Where the potential has dropped to 0, the concentration is a bulk concentration, that is N0. Okay. And where the concentration is Ni, the potential is psi. So that means ln Ni by N0 is equal to minus Zi E psi by kBt. So this means Ni is equal to N0 into e to the power minus Zi E psi by kBt, right. So you have been able to successfully express the concentration as a function of potential, the number density of ions of the ith species as a function of potential. This is known as Boltzmann distribution. Okay. So let us summarize this part through the slides. So you can see the final expression Ni is equal to Ni0, which is N0 in short notation what I have written in the board, into e to the power minus Zi E psi by kBt. So this is the ionic distribution under equilibrium. Now there is a different way of deriving this, in fact there could be many different ways of deriving this. So we will derive this from the species conservation equation. If you recall that in one of the early lectures we derived all the conservation equations, and there we derived the species conservation equation. We will refer to the species conservation equation, but in this case you have to be careful because here there are species which have charges. So charged species we are talking about, not in many chemical in many applications in chemical engineering we are talking about species which are not charged, but here we are talking about species which are charged. So we will start with the expression. Look at the first equation, general species conservation equation, del Ni del T plus del dot J equal to 0, right. The unsteady term and the flux, the divergence of the flux. So the flux, the special case is steady state when the unsteady term is 0, that is quite obvious. Now the flux will be typically related to what? Ji will be, one is due to fluid flow, this is equal to Ni into U. Now you can write the flux directly from thermodynamics by noting that from a thermodynamics point of view the flux is proportional to the number density, because more the number density more will be the flux, and the flux is proportional to the gradient of the chemical potential, electrochemical potential rather, not the chemical, because here the chemical species have charges. So accordingly we have written Ji is equal to NiU minus Bi Ni into grad of mu I. M means basically molar quantity, because we are interested to write the expression for 1 mole of a system per unit mole. So basically whatever we define for per unit entity, whatever we wrote for per unit entity, we will multiply that by Avogadro number to get the expression for the total mole. Now what is this Bi? Bi is called as ionic mobility. It is called as ionic mobility, it is diffusivity by RT, that is the definition of ionic mobility. Okay. And Di is equal to kBT by F. This is a very interesting relationship where you relate the fluid mechanics with the diffusion. So how is it possible or how do you get this expression? I will quickly go to the board, and there is a complicated way of deriving this, but I will just give you a concept through a very simple case. So from the work energy principle, so if let us assume that there is a sphere which is moving in a fluid. So there is a drag force on the sphere. For some very special case, why I am talking about drag force on a sphere, because it very closely resembles the situation of an ion. The ion may be modeled as approximately a spherical entity moving in a liquid. Okay. So what is the drag force on the ion? The friction coefficient times the relative velocity. The friction coefficient can be derived by considering the Stokes law, for example, or some modification of the Stokes law. If it is if the Stokes law is valid, then what is the expression for F? 6 pi, we will write viscosity as eta, because we have already used mu for chemical potential. So just to avoid duplicacy of symbols, into the radius of the ion. Okay. So this F into V is the force. So this force, see, V scales with L by T, right, some characteristic length traversed by the ions over some characteristic time. This is the drag force. What is the work done to overcome the drag force? This is force times the displacement, right. This work, where do you get the work? Ions have thermal energy. By virtue of their thermal energy, they can get the sufficient energy to overcome this drag. So what is the thermal energy? That is kV into T, Boltzmann constant times temperature. And what is this L square by T? This is nothing but the diffusion coefficient, right. So F into diffusion coefficient is kB into T. So D is equal to kBT by F. This is the Stokes-Einstein, this is a very famous relationship called as Stokes-Einstein relationship. Of course the actual derivation of the relationship is not this. I have just tried to give you a physical meaning of this through a scaling argument. because the actual derivation is a little bit more involved and I do not want to spend more time on that. Okay. So now we have, let me write the expression for J in the board. Ji is equal to NIU minus BI into what is mu I m or mu I bar m? This is Na times mu I 0 plus kBT ln Ni plus Zi E psi, right. This is what we had derived, just it is a molar quantity, so multiply by Avogadro number. So what is grad mu I m? Right. What is Bi? Okay, then we will go step by step. Ni grad mu I m, so one Ni gets cancelled, Na kb T grad Ni plus Na Ni Zi E grad psi. What is Bi into Ni grad mu I m? What is Bi? Bi is di by RT. Bi is nothing but, let us write it somewhere, di by RT. So di by RT, Na into kb is R, so RT grad Ni plus di by RT Na Ni Zi E grad psi. Okay. So this term becomes di grad Ni, right, diffusion coefficient times the concentration gradient. So this is just like the Fick's law of diffusion, right. This flux is just like the Fick's law of diffusion, because ions after all chemicals are chemical species, but this additional term is because of the electrical potential, and that is because the ions have charges. Okay. So because of the electrical potential this additional term is there, and physically this is because that if you apply an electric field or if there is an induced electric field, the ions will have an additional transport beyond advection and diffusion because of the action of the electric field, and this is called as electromigration. Okay. So in addition to advection and diffusion, you also have electromigration of the ionic species. So you can write now this expression R by Na you can write as 1 by kb, right. R by Na is kb, so this becomes 1 by kb. Okay. So you have the electromigration given by di Ni Zi E grad psi by kBt. Okay. So now when you take the divergence of J okay. You have also this the first term which is the advection term del dot NIU. This will be minus, right, this is minus because it is minus Bi Ni grad mu Im. So, this will become minus. So, when you consider the species conservation equation del Ji del T plus del Ni del T plus del dot J equal to 0. So, you have del Ni del T plus del dot NIU equal to the minus terms will become plus when they go to the right hand side. So, how do they look? Let us go to the slides. So, you have del Ni del T plus del dot NIU, this is the transient term, this is the advection term, del dot Di del Ni plus del dot Di Zi E Ni by KBT grad psi, this is diffusion and this is electromigration. Okay. Now, can we recover the Boltzmann distribution from this equation? So, this equation by the way is the most general equation because here we had not made any assumption about whether ions are point charges or their ideal solutions, we have not made any assumption, right. We have started, but the assumptions are implicit that the ions are ideal solutions. Why? It is a most general expression provided you do not write it in this form, but you write it in this form, that is Ji is equal to Nie minus Bi Ni grad mu I m. Once you have specified the expression for mu I m like this, then it is no more that general because it contains assumptions that you are considering the system as an ideal solution, right. So, that assumption is very much there. So, but it is more general than the Boltzmann distribution itself because the Boltzmann distribution considered a special case when the system is in equilibrium, but here you are considering transport, right, you are considering basically a fluid flow field and you can also have unsteadiness. So, all these additional effects are brought into picture in this equation. So, it carries the assumptions of Boltzmann distribution no doubt, but it includes the effect of advection and transiences. This differential equation is known as Nernst-Planck equation, Nernst-Planck equation. Okay. Now, you have to keep in mind that you can derive more general expression by instead of, see, that is why the derivations are important. If you say that, well, I want to relax the constraint that the ions, the solution is an ideal gas, then simply what you do is you replace the mole fraction by activity, then you can write a modified version of the Nernst-Planck equation that no more considers an ideal solution. Okay. So, it is possible to generalize. Sometimes we simplify for solving a problem, but we must have a clear picture that if we want to generalize what we should do. Now, for the special case when there is no unsteadiness and there is no fluid flow, this equation should boil down to the Boltzmann distribution because that is the same form of the electrochemical potential that has been taken. So, it should boil down to that. So let us see that how we can arrive at that conclusion. So you have del dot di right if the unsteady and the fluid flow term is not there, right. For a one dimensional problem this will just become d dy of di dni dy. I am just writing a simple case of a one dimensional problem where everything is a function of y. Now if you integrate it once, you will get di dni dy plus di ni zi e by kbt d psi dy is equal to constant, right. Now you know that wherever dni dy is equal to 0, d psi dy must be 0, right. That means C will be equal to 0. This is nothing but the differential form of the Boltzmann distribution, right. You just cross the various terms, dni by ni is equal to minus, so this di gets cancelled, dni by ni is equal to minus zi e by kbt d psi, right. That is the differential form of the Boltzmann distribution. So you can see that you can recover the Boltzmann distribution from this. Now many times we use the Boltzmann distribution even when there is fluid flow. I will show you that when we are talking about a fluid flow in a channel which is taking place in the axial direction, because that is the direction when we want, where we want to have the flow, we use still the Boltzmann distribution, and there is an interesting reason behind this. The interesting reason is that the orthogonality between the direction in which you are applying the Boltzmann distribution and the fluid flow direction. See, you are having the fluid flow in this direction with a velocity u, but the v velocity is approximately equal to 0. So it is an equilibrium picture that essentially governs the distribution in the transverse direction despite the flow taking place along the longitudinal direction. So despite having fluid flow, the Boltzmann distribution can give a kind of reliable picture with certain approximations. So those approximations, if those are not justified, then we can no more use the Boltzmann distribution. We will discuss about more of this in the next lecture. Thank you very much.